Do you actually want to do this or not? Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason. It becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path.
You will never feel ready to do things that scare you. You will never feel ready to jump off the cliff. You will never feel ready to take that leap. And the reason why is based on science and research. Your brain is designed to protect you, and change requires risk. And so you are protecting yourself by saying maybe tomorrow.
One way to increase the probability that things will unfold for you properly is to not lie. Just stop lying. Period. Stop saying things you believe to be untrue. Stop doing things you know to be wrong. Just start with that. You'll get closer and closer to the truth, and the truth is the adventure of life. That's the advantage to the truth. You have the world on your side. But obviously, because if you're lying about things, you're opposing reality. Who are you? Who are you to oppose reality? Good luck.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does always actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans. So you can start vaguely and confused and develop a plan that's not so great, and you start to implement it. And then you accrue incremental wisdom as you implement your flawed plan. And that enables you to fix the plan. And so that's part of that process of incremental self-improvement as well.
When you were born, you are a phenomenon. You are unique. Your DNA has never occurred in the history of the universe, going back billions of years. It will never occur in the future. Your life experiences with your parents and everything that you experience in your early years going on up is unique. It's yours. You're one of a kind, right? So that is your source of power. To waste that is just the worst thing you can do in your life. And what the power is finding that uniqueness, what makes you you, and how you can mine that, and how you can go deep into it and use that to create a career path.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions. So to me, what failure is the mother of all success. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan getting cut from his 9th grade basketball team, he wouldn't have became Michael Jordan. You know, if it wasn't for, I seen an article the other day where they were talking about Oprah Winfrey and how she got fired because she wasn't good for television. Because all it's gonna do is lead you in the right direction.
If life was nothing but green lights and we didn't have yellows and reds, things that make us pause, hardships, crises, times for introspection, then what the hell would it all be for? We need the yellows and the reds. That's how we evolve. That's how hopefully there's some ascension to our being. That's how we give some credit to time and growing older. If we were the same person today that we were 20 years ago, then what the hell are we doing?
This idea and this notion that you could be anything you want, you can accomplish anything you want, right? We hear that. You've heard that from the time you were little boys. You hear that now. You're already incredibly accomplished. You can win an NBA championship, MVP of the league. You could become president. You could become governor. You could be in entertainment. You could do Charles, and you could do Shaq. You could do that. You could do whatever you want to do. You guys know that. The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times.
That's mental health, to be able to celebrate yourself and to be able to give yourself some credit. And I feel like that was a great statement for those going through mental health, because we always depend on confirmation, or we depend on someone to make us feel like we're worthy or we're validated, when in actuality, you should thank yourself for being validated, because you're the one that got to get up every day and do this and walk this walk, talk this talk, and do what you do to be you. So thank yourself, pat yourself on the back.
Yo, if you don't start getting honest with yourself, you're gonna die a liar. Stop lying to yourself and stop volunteering those lies to others. And I think a lot of us do that, you know, a lot. Like we lie to ourselves and then we just volunteer those lies to other people. Like nobody even asked us, you know. And I think social media, you know, contributes to a lot of that, because every day you feel like you have to, you know, feed this beast. And like, you know, you might go look at your feed, and at some point you got to ask yourself, who is this person? You know, or just the things that you know, say to people, you know, in your life as you're just, you know, growing and evolving just as a human.
Just because something is hard to obtain does not mean that it is valuable.
Just because something is hard to obtain doesn't mean it's valuable.
Correct. Yeah. Just because it's difficult to get doesn't mean that it's valuable. Look at the car he's driving, look at the watch he's wearing, look at the girl he's with. These things were hard to obtain, so you presumed that they were valuable, but you didn't realize that what's genuinely valuable are friendships and relationships and a comfort and a confidence in yourself and peace of mind and sanity and being able to positively impact the people around you.
I don't care who you are, how much money you have, what you have going on. When you get out of bed every day, life is standing right there to punch you in the mouth. And, you know, you have to overcome all these different struggles in life every day. Right. I actually love when adversity is thrown at me and I have to deal with this stuff. And it's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm a little sick and twisted, and I like the conflict every day. I like powering through the challenges that life throws at you every day. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's God's proof to you, sent beforehand already to indicate that it's yours. And anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one.
You're not as far away from these dreams as you think you are. But because you think it's so far away, you behave in accordance with that belief system, and it always keeps it that far away from you. First thing is you need to believe and know that you're one decision, one relationship, one meeting, one book, one thought, one something away from a completely different life. And when you know that, then you begin to look for them.
People should fucking stop complaining.
Right.
People should figure out who the fuck they are. Figure out what you fucking puts you on fire and you're halfway decent at. If you're lucky enough right now to be listening and you're good at what you like, become tunnel fucking vision. Because there's way too many voices telling you what and how. Have the conversation with the person that's holding you back. The reason most people who are listening right now are not doing that thing is they're worried about the opinion of somebody.
You're lazy, you know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and say, God, man, I'm not smart, and do it again. Do it again, do it again. It's not just there. It's not just there permanently for me.
But one of the things that really motivates me, or one of my most powerful motivational frames, is thinking about the person that I want to become as the destination. And thinking like, I want to be bulletproof. I want to be bulletproof in these ways. I want to be bulletproof in my marriage. I want to be bulletproof in my business, etc. And I think about that man, whoever I want him to be. Like we said, hell is when you look at who you could have been and realize that you're not that person. And then I think, if I were to make that man, what would I put that man through to make him who he is? Like, it wouldn't be easy times. It wouldn't be quick wins. It wouldn't even be easy wins. It would be the toil and the struggle of achieving and reaching for things that are right out of grasp, that are right above my threshold, and continuing to do that to like lift the weight, to build the muscle, to break it down and do it over and over again, because like that's what creates the character traits that are the man that I want to be. And so when I'm going through those like really harder times, I like to think of like looking in my mental mirror of like, I'm making you. I'm not there yet, but I'm making you.
I think one of the largest tenets of masculinity for the largest period of human time is ignoring how you feel and doing what you're supposed to do because you're supposed to do it. We feel things, but jobs must be done, whether we are happy or sad. And this is also disappearing from the world. I'm stressed probably 6 days a week. I'm pissed off 6 days a week. But things need to be done.
Right.
So you just have to do them.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. I don't even want it to be easy. Everybody would get a PhD. If it was easy to get a PhD, then it wouldn't be valuable if you could just open up the door. So I tell people, like, look at the tragedies and say, yo, you thought well enough for me to come at me? Batman, you trained in the dark. Bane said, I was born in the dark. This is what I do. Cut all the lights off if you want to. You're not gonna stop me because you got all the lights. Like, this is where I thrive. And I'm saying if you're a real human, because we are a little different than some of the other things that were created. We have a will, there's some things that we have. I'm like, activate it. Instead of crying and quitting and giving up, again, we're going to go through pain. All of us won't get a reward from it. I got a reward for mine. Like, I have worked so hard. When I die, I will physically be dead, but you'll still be knowing about Eric Thomas.
Courage is the key to life itself. There are a lot of people who are born in situations where they say, well, I'll never get out of this. So they won't. I say to people who say, well, I would like to have done so and so and so. So, well, you could have done it. So, well, I couldn't get out of here. Man, the bus runs every day.
If you could change the way you wake up in the morning, stop saying, I got to go to work. I got to work out. I got to get this weight off of me. I got to go and meet with the people at the school. I got to deal with my coworkers. Change one word in that sentence and everything about your life changes. I get to wake up in the morning. I get to go to work. I get to go and meet with these people today. When you say I got to, you take all of your opportunities and all of your blessings and you wrap them up in stress by saying I got to. You take all the stress off of it when you say I get to.
That's another root of human struggle, worrying about other people's perceptions about who you are. Like, why would you ever care about that, you know? And I think that I fell victim to that in my past, of worrying about things that I can't control. You know, if the people understood what words could do to a human being, especially where we are in today's society, then they wouldn't be invested in that.
Listen, man, I didn't take life serious till I was 32. One day at 32, I found myself fucking broke. I mean, living from fucking garbage can to mouth, pretty much. You know, had a refrigerator that only had Snapple in it and beer. Never was there food in that fucking thing. I lived in a one-bedroom, pretty much studio apartment. I had a TV, I had cable, but I was living like Rocky Balboa, which there's nothing wrong like that. But they didn't put you on this planet just to give up.
Do not be discouraged by the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The struggle is a good sign that the Spirit of God is at work in your life.
Yeah.
If you're not struggling in any way over sin, I worry about you.
Yeah.
But if you're that person's like, dude, I'm just struggling. Good, bro. Because what you're recognizing is that there's this war, as you said, raging between your flesh and the spirit. And both of these are trying to win out over the other. You know, your flesh is trying to draw you away from God and toward sin. And the Spirit of God is trying to draw you away from sin and toward God in a life of righteousness. And so that internal battle shows that the Spirit is in you, that you have been saved, that He is working to save you in present time from the power of sin. Be encouraged by the struggle.
Yeah.
Lean into the struggle.
Yeah.
The great news is the Spirit of God can give you power to put the flesh to death, that the flesh has no authority over you. As Paul says in Romans 8, you're not obligated to sin any longer. You do not have to say yes The enemy wants you to believe the lie that you have to say yes, that the flesh is too strong for you, that you can't overcome it, but the Spirit of God is there so that you can.
Yeah.
And so as long as you will walk in step with him and yield to him each day and ask him for what you need to put the flesh to death, he'll give it to you, and then he'll lead you in the way you should go.
I'll say honestly, just lock in, man. I think the biggest thing nowadays, everybody has social media and stuff, and like, sometimes you just gotta put the phone down. Sometimes you gotta figure out who you are. And I see people all the time, like, how do you figure out what you wanna do? And like, I got big dreams to be rich and famous or just rich, but I just don't know what to do. I got so many things I wanna do. A lot of people don't like remove their self from the crowd, or like you'll never put down the weed, or you never put down the alcohol, or you gotta really remove yourself from all this stuff, and like maybe put down your phone for once, just think and like just sit back. And sometimes it might make you cry. You might be to go into some deep depression shit, but it'll trigger that thing in your brain to think and to figure out what you really want to do.
The most important decision you can make above any on the face of the earth is deciding that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what happens, you're gonna live in a beautiful state. And what the hell does that mean? It means that you're not gonna suffer. It means a beautiful state is that you're gonna be happy, but that's only one. Or you're gonna feel creative, or you're gonna be passionate, or you're gonna be in awe of something, or you're gonna feel love. Any state that's a beautiful state is really the core essence of who you are without fear.